All right, Senator Murphy, welcome to the second day of the legislative session. Minnesotans are really excited about the work that we all know that you have to do that's ahead of you. But first, I want to start by saying that when the session started yesterday, you all honored Speaker Melissa Hortman and her family. Tell us about what it was like to be in the chamber when that happened.
It is, I think, a challenge for all of us to return. An important day. We have work to do for the people of Minnesota. In the Minnesota Senate, of course, we recognized and welcomed back Senator Hoffman and his family. We're really rejoicing in his recovery and his recuperation, and it's great to have him back. And then we joined the House, and we did memorialize and speak to the profound loss of Speaker Emerita Hortman, Mark Hortman, and Gilbert. The other thing I think we have to recognize is there's a loss of innocence for all of us. We've suffered a lot as a result of political and gun violence this summer and fall. And I think we would be kidding ourselves if we didn't recognize that there is a sense of a loss of real security and freedom in the work that we do at the Capitol. And I am determined to make sure that people can come back to the Capitol and visit and work and feel that sense of security again. Melissa was my good friend. And the days ahead of the start of the session, people sent me photographs, and, it is abundantly clear that she is absent. And I've made a commitment to myself to honor her by embodying her let's get stuff done for people attitude as we move forward.
Well said. Well said. One of the things, Senator Murphy, that I know you emphasize with your members and your colleagues is the importance of listening to the people they represent. I'm curious, what are the biggest things you and your members are actually hearing from the people they represent in their communities, and how does that inform what the legislature should focus on?
It wouldn't surprise you at all that I'm hearing from people in the community I represent and across the state on the issue of fraud. And I've been really, really happy to tell people that since we took the majority in 2023, we have passed significant policy to prevent, detect, and to stop fraud. And it's important because the programs that we put in place that serve vulnerable people need to be relied upon. We want people to get the care and the services that we've put into place. And when someone steals from the government, it's no good. And we're not interested in that. We have worked really hard. And I think largely as I've been talking with people and I explain the very unsexy but important work that we have done, they're relieved to know that we've actually taken action, and you'll see us continue that work this session. I also hear a lot about gun violence, not just where I live, but in different parts of the state. And they understand that we lost 2 kids to gun violence at Annunciation, but they're not the only people that they've lost. And they are hopeful and anticipating that we are going to address that. And last, we know that Minnesotans are bearing the brunt of this administration in Washington, D.C. The Trump White House has made healthcare more expensive, childcare less accessible. Agriculture tariffs are hurting farmers markets, and we're seeing that impact in local communities, in property taxes, and the cost of food, and they want some help there as well. So Minnesotans are always clear. If you give them time and you listen to them, they will set the path for us and what we need to get done.
Absolutely. You mentioned the Trump administration, and one of the things that we've been sounding the alarm on is that Donald Trump is waging a retribution campaign on Minnesotans. It's very targeted, and that, of course, escalated with the arrival of the ICE surge, the ICE federal agents in our communities that sowed chaos and violence. It took the lives of 2 Minnesotans, Renee Good and Alex Preddy. How's that changing how you're approaching this session, and what can the legislature do to help people right now?
My colleagues are coming to work this session with a number of ideas that they'd like to pursue in public policy. But I want to give a real shout out to my colleagues who have been a part of their communities and supporting their neighbors, taking kids to school, making sure people can get to work, delivering food, providing financial support for people who can't go to work and can't pay their rent. I have been uniformly proud of them for everything that they're doing. And that experience has shaped what they want to do this session. So you will see a ban on masks. Senator Port will carry that legislation. There's legislation to advance a civil right of action. Senator Champion, Senator Fate working on that legislation. We will see, I'm sure, legislation to create a barrier for ICE in essential places like our schools or child care centers or hospitals, where ICE has disregarded the human dignity of people and the safety of our kids in their siege. And last, I'll be carrying legislation that require federal agents, if they harm someone with a weapon, just like every Minnesotan is expected to do, we render aid when we've hurt someone. And the ICE agents, on the day that they shot and killed Renee Macklin Good, did not render aid, and they disallowed the physician present to do that. They shouldn't be allowed to do that. They should have to follow our laws, and we're gonna move that legislation as well.
Absolutely. So our special guest today, the second day of the legislative session, is Senator Erin Murphy, the majority leader of the state Senate. You are a nurse as well, as you just mentioned. That's a piece of legislation I'm glad to hear that you're going to be carrying. When this session ends, what do you want Minnesotans to be able to point to and say, this made my life better?
Oh, I hope that they consider not just what we get done this session, but the body of work that we have moved since 2023. We have worked very hard to make life more affordable. We've cut taxes. We've invested in communities and local government aid, in our public schools, in universal school meals, in the most expansive child tax credit to end child poverty. We've done so much work for the people of Minnesota, taking what was a surplus and putting it right back into their pockets. At the end of this session, I hope they say the Minnesota Democrats came to work to serve us, and we got a bonding bill done that invests in communities and infrastructure across the state. That's our job. No politics should get in the way of that. We're ready to do the work for the people of Minnesota.
That's fantastic. One last question for the party folks on this call, the county chairs, the activists, the precinct leaders. What should they keep an eye out for this legislative session? What's one action they can take as we continue to weather this moment together?
I think we all have to talk within our communities, in our circles, about what's happening in the state capitol and what's happening in Minnesota. We have experienced something profound in these last 6 weeks, and Minnesotans are burning brightly like the North Star. We have to make sure we're communicating about that, but let's also remember that what we're experiencing here as a result of this federal government is because we lost an election. And the way out is by winning the next one. So we need to continue to organize and build support for an agenda for the people of Minnesota and the Democrats that can move it.
As you know, we put out a message memo every Friday for all the hundreds of progressive activists around the state so that can all sing from the same song sheet, right? And last week, our team brought that quote to the table, and we included it in our message memo because you're exactly right. An election got us into this mess, and that election in November 3rd, 2026, 9 months from now, will get us out.
We're going to build our future together.
Awesome. Thank you, Senate Majority Leader Erin Murphy, for being on the DFL Daily today. Good luck this legislative session, and thank you for your leadership.
I look forward to seeing you soon.
Awesome.